beautiful morning to you this beautiful Wednesday morning.
Yes, indeed. How much of a holiday person are you? We love it here on Wake Up Nigeria. We're already setting up for the holidays. You can see we're not done yet. Everywhere's looking very Christmassy.
Yes, and Yomi brought us a Christmas birthday cake.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. If you just look in the kitchen, you see something there.
Yeah, something colorful.
So we're going to be cutting that later on. Hopefully have some for coffee.
Yes.
Oh, there it is. Very nice. Very nice.
Very beautiful. In the spirit of birthday and Christmas.
I'm still thankful for yesterday. Anyway, we'll talk about that later.
Well, definitely will. You almost got teary yesterday. So thank you for starting your day with us again this morning. We appreciate it.
Now, Christmas is only days away. I want to ask you a question. Are you ready? My name is Yomi Ope.
And I am Tokwe Olonio. We're streaming live at tvcentertainment.tv.
And of course, we're on Facebook as well at TVC Connect. Send in your comments across our social media platforms with the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria.
Now, you can also download our mobile app from any Android or iOS store. And that means you can access and watch us from anywhere in the world.
Anyway, we can be a part of your birthday celebrations if you will let us.
Singer Godwin will be bringing a musical performance. Marino.
On nutrition, we have certified personal nutritionist Adidamola Ladejobi, aka Ask Dams. She's going to be joining us to talk about nutrition and a healthy lifestyle, especially this Christmas period when, you know, you can't help it. You just
really
have to
can't
eat
help
junk.
it.
There's no, I mean, yeah, it's going to happen.
And then more music will be coming, this time from contemporary urban gospel rapper and singer Sam Jams.
Things are not the same because he told me
Okay, moving on to relationship, marriage counselor Damilola Shoderu will be talking about how to handle a breakup during the festive season.
Darling, I want to break up with you.
Oh,
Yeah,
how
it can
do
be.
you even
It
say
can be
that?
pretty. Yeah. So, anyway, our last guest this morning is lawyer, versatile worship leader, and music minister Gloria.
Powerful healer, you are the powerful healer.
Oh yeah,
I mean, I
it
know
would be
the
nice to
song,
meet her.
but
Yeah.
I didn't know that was her.
I think she was at recently at the Experience, and you know,
she was?
I heard she tore the place apart.
can
I don't know if you can
imagine.
use that for gospel music.
You used to?
So anyway, Tenny was training yesterday.
Oh yeah, wow.
Online. Apparently, so she had this concert on a Monday.
Yes, she did.
And people were saying, oh, she doesn't have an album. Does she have enough songs? Can she carry the crowd and all of that? But eventually, the place was packed out.
Oh, it was.
Totally packed out on a Monday
Monday,
evening.
I thought
People
because
going
it
to
was
work the
Monday.
next day. Yeah, people going to work the next day. They were like, they were there till 4 a.m.
Whoa.
She held the crowd, and she got a lot of support from mainstream artists. Wizkid was
yeah.
there.
I think I saw a video
Tiwa
of
Savage was
Wizkid
there.
and Tiwa
So
Savage.
it was really nice. I know she's like a comedian, so it was also very fun as well. And good.
Speaking about Tenny, we really should make plans for the dirty December. I'm just so afraid of the spending of money for the year of January.
Yeah.
Oh, the year of January coming.
I don't know. But people should. I know there's a lot of things that happen in December.
Yeah.
People travel, family members. So you're going to run into people that you haven't given money to all year. So here you are being generous, and it's a
Christmas.
spirit of Christmas, a spirit of giving, goodwill to men, and all of that. So that. Usually would then make you overstretch yourself financially. And so people just need to be careful to make sure that you save for January.
While we're reading the highlights, this relationship got me. Do you think it's sensitive to actually break up with someone during the festive season?
During Christmas and the New Year, yes.
It's sensitive.
You're not sensitive, so that's the best time. So that whoever you're breaking up with can start their life afresh.
Wow.
So after you've broken up, the person can now focus on God, go to church on the mosque on December 31st, go and give your heart to Christ, and then start the new year.
Afresh.
You get, so if you have a broken heart, December 31st is the best time to just go
I
on.
do not subscribe to this. Please.
I'm just saying.
Do not pay attention to your mean.
That's
This is
the
very
best time so that
insensitive.
you get into the new year fresh, 2020. All the baggage from 2019, you leave it behind.
Wow.
Take the new blessings.
Dear
and
brothers
go.
out there and dear sisters, do not.
So
listen
you'd
to
rather they broke up with the person in the new year?
Yes. I mean,
Why?
there's a lot to celebrate now. I mean, now next year, Christmas, you're going to remember how this guy broke your heart
At Christmas.
at Christmas. And the next Christmas. And the
No,
next
you
Christmas.
won't remember now.
You will.
You have to be mended by the new year. Anyway, I don't know. I'm just making conjectures, but I feel like if it happens in the previous year, before the new year,
Yeah.
the person will be thankful to you because they'll feel like they're starting afresh.
Well, your heart is made of stone. I am not really. I can't relate to what you just.
That's what I think. That's what I
Okay.
think. Anyway, but we're going to ask the relationship expert.
Expert, exactly.
gonna tell
and
us?
let's bet. If I'm correct, how much?
Our
How
producer
much?
is saying
Our producer is saying you can help. No way.
what do you want to bet? That
Let's bet that.
before or after the festive
after
season?
the festive season.
No, I'm not going to bet with you.
You said you know I'm correct.
No, it's not about you being correct. It's about me saying what I feel is the best.
And now that there's money inside.
Anyway, so I feel like, that it's really important that people start afresh. Give them a chance to do that.
I know it's important for people to start afresh, but to tell people that they can break a heart this Christmas, man, I do not subscribe
Okay,
to it.
after Christmas, Boxing Day, 27th, 28th, just do it before the 31st so that they can have that opportunity to
please just-
mend themselves.
Please wait for the relationship.
Do them a favor.
Relationship segment. Let's take the news.
All right, we're going to take the news now, and our first story contains flash photography. Now, Nigeria now has an approved spending plan for next year. This follows the signing of the 2020 appropriation bill into law by President Muhammadu Buhari. The president is excited that in the lifetime of his administration, the national budget has been returned by the January to December cycle. But he also says he may have to return to the National Assembly with a request for variement because of certain adjustments the lawmakers made to the budget. The signing was witnessed by Vice President of the Senate, the President of the Senate, and the Speaker of the House of Representatives.
The 2020 budget passed by the National Assembly provides the aggregate expenditures of 10.594 trillion naira, an increase of 263.95 billion naira over the executive proposal that was submitted in October 2019. We have examined the adjustments and may revert to the National Assembly with a request for a variant or other relevant amendments.
I think the tragedy of the past, and could be the tragedy of tomorrow, is for us not to be able to get the revenues. This is important. But this time around, we have fixed or we have passed the finance bill. The finance bill will provide a lot more revenues to government. We have also passed the amendment to the production sharing contract. That will also provide a lot more revenues.
There's a synergy between the executive and the legislature like never before. Many want to criticize that. Many, because you have a lot of naysayers. Many will say you're rubber stamps, but we believe, and we believe that we will continue to do what we need to do as a legislature, and the executive will do what they're doing. And the harmony that is between the two, guess who benefits?
Nigeria's inflation figures for the month of November hits 11.85%. This marks a spike from 11.61% recorded in October. That's according to just released figures from the National Bureau of Statistics. On a month-on-month basis, inflation hits 1.02% from 1.07% recorded in October. The highest rise in food inflation was recorded in Kwara, Sokoto, Bayelsa and Edo State, while Nasarawa, Ondo and Lagos recorded the slowest rise in food inflation on a month-on-month basis. The NBS report further shows urban index rose 12.47% in November compared to 12.20% recorded in October. Urban index rose 1.02% month-on-month in November from 1.15% in October. Rural index rose 11.30% year-on-year in November from 11.07% in October. While on a month-on-month basis, rural index rose by 0.98% from 0.99% recorded in October. Now, the Senate has summoned the Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, over the visa on arrival policy announced by President Muhammadu Buhari at Aswan Forum in Egypt. He will brief the committees on Judiciary and Interior on the policy, which would commence in January 2020 and is aimed at encouraging free movement in Africa. It is also expected to aid the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement signed by the president in July. While debating the matter, some lawmakers highlighted the need for proper domestication of the policy, which requires appropriate legislative backing.
Neither the Federal Executive Council nor a member of the National Assembly has yet submitted to the National Assembly a bill for domestication to enable effect to be said African Continental Free Trade Agreement, which is necessary prerequisite before its implementation. Therefore, it is premature, constitutionally and legally impossible for the provisions of the said agreement to have any effect within the territory of Nigeria.
Part of the insecurity came from elements coming outside and into Nigeria. To now have a visa policy that doesn't seem to be properly regulated was giving people a lot of jitters, because what it now meant was that anybody could just come in and actually cause mayhem in Nigeria.
Look at the Immigration Act. It is stated clearly the method of coming into this country. You must have visa before you come. We don't have a policy that allow us or allow other internationals to come into this country, get visa on arrival. So we must necessary, as National Assembly, saddle with that responsibility, legislate on that before it is implemented.
On interior, judiciary, and legal matters, to inform the Senate on the technical, logistics, legal, and constitutional issues that are available and required for compliance before implementation of the said visa on arrival policy.
Well, that's it on the news update for this hour. The weather update is next. And of course, we'll take a break and be back with sports with Tope. Going to the newspaper headlines this December 18th, Wednesday. Starting with the Vanguard. Showire court summons Justice Minister, DSS boss. Malami risking removal as AGF, says Falana. And also still on the cover of the Vanguard this morning, convicted ex-governor Kalu asks for bail on health grounds. And up here, $29.96 billion loan bid. I can't sit and watch Buhari squander our children's future, Atiku says. And also, reps reject bill seeking 6-year single tenure for president, governors, others. And Yuletide activities put further pressure on inflation rate. And a few other stories at the bottom here. Nigeria pushing to make Osun, Oshogbo, Sacred Grove World Heritage Site, says Lai Mohammed. And Buhari not fighting corruption, says Ango Abdullahi. And Oshoba urges media to shoot down hate bill. And here, Buhari, vice president, to spend $9.06 billion on travel, food, cars, and others. Wow. And finally, birthday, Buhari example of incorruptible leadership, say APC governors. And that's what we have on the cover of the Vanguard this Wednesday.
On the cover of Daily Sun this morning, we have, I won't allow my name used for 2023 campaign, says Buhari. Under that, we also have says democratic system too slow for his liking. Moving on, we have reps reject 6-year single term for president and governors. You could see that on page 8. Moving on, we have a photo story that shows President Muhammadu Buhari sitting with Vice President Yemi Osinbajo to the left, Senate President Ahmad Lawan second right, Speaker House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila third left, Secretary to the Government of the Federation Boss Mustafa to the right, Chairman Senate Committee on Appropriation Jibrin Barrow third right, and SSAP NAS Senate Babajide Omoworare second left as he signs the 2020 appropriation bill into law in State House Abuja yesterday. At the bottom of the headlines, we have court summons AGF DSS DG over Showere's rearrest on page 6. Falana to Malami, stop playing Pontius Pilate. To wrap it up, we have President signs 2020 budget into law to forward borrowing plans to NAS. Loan will destroy future of Nigerians, says Atiku. And that's it on Daily Sun this morning.
We've got the Nigerian Tribune here with the headline, 6-year single tenure for president, governors. Atiku knocks reps over rejection. That story is on page 4. And a few stories here. Kalu to appeal court. I'm sick. Release me on bail. That story is on page 33. And Senate rejects visa on arrival policy. Summons Interior Minister. And court summons AGF DSS over Showere. And up here, Lagos Blue Rail Line. Sanwo-Olu flags off a final phase. Says operation commences in 2021. FIRS begins nationwide clampdown on tax defaulters. And a few other stories here. I won't allow security agencies to thwart 2020 election, Buhari says. And gunmen killed 2 women, 3 children. Wow, in Adamawa village. That's a sad one. And finally, Buhari signs 10.59 trillion naira 2020 appropriation bill into law. And you can see a photograph there of smiling dignitaries as he signs the budget. That's what we have on the cover of the Nigerian Tribune.
Moving on to the cover of the Punch this morning. At the top, we have inflation rises to 19-month high at 11.85% NBS. You can read more on that on page 24. We have anti-graft war, democracy too slow for my liking, says Buhari. Headlines as well, we have scores of ASU members face bleak Christmas over IPPIS. Federal government is universities workers. Employer says UNN. No pay, no work. Ibadan varsity lecturers tell federal government. We have a photo story here, which we have underneath. Lagos Metro Rail will become operational in 2021, Sanwo-Olu. You can read more on that on page 6. Some more stories here. We have Senate summons Aregbesola over visa on arrival policy. Lagos NURTW members clash fight for park control. And lastly, we have reps block proposed 6-year single term for president and governors. You can read more on that on page 18. And that's it for the Punch.
And that's it for the newspaper headlines for this hour. Of course, we'll be back with more at the top of the hour or once again. But now we'll take a break, coming back with traffic in Lagos.
Now, there's nothing we'd like to give better than giving information that will come handy for you. Now, it is time for us to give you tips on the traffic situation to help you get to your destination faster. You can also assist others by sending updates using the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Now, this morning, I'm trying to take a route a bit off my usual route, just because someone did reach out with the hashtag WakeUpNigeria asking for directions from Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway all the way to Ikeja. So we're going to be taking this route starting from the IFO Secretariat, and it will take you approximately an hour, 56 minutes to get to Ikeja. But from what I'm seeing here from the Secretariat, it is a free-flowing traffic through the Ifo General Hospital. We have free-flowing at, there's a popular petrol station here that usually causes traffic, but good to go at this point. Through the General Hospital, through the market, through the Rock Medical Center is clear at this time. Now you will experience slight traffic at Songo-Ota, which is probably, this is like, from what I'm seeing here, is like a traffic light, and a lot of roads meet at this point. Now, from experience, we know that at points like this, it's always expected. So we have pockets of traffic, but it's moving. So if you just exercise a little patience, you will be fine. Now, right after this, we have free-flowing traffic all the way through the Pakoto Primary School, is like a popular point, through the Pakoto High School, the auto shop, the express, now we're joining the expressway, through Irekpodu Avenue. That is clear and free-flowing. Please pardon me if I'm murdering the names because I have a feeling I am. And all the way through Owode Jako, that is also free-flowing. Now, as we go further, there's slight traffic. I do not know what's causing it at the point, but if you're there, you could definitely share with us so we know what's causing the traffic at that point using the hashtag WakeUpNigeria. Now, we have free-flowing traffic up until we get to Iyano Joju Road. Now, there's thick traffic from what I'm seeing here. We don't know what's causing that, but it begins to ease up towards Salako Close. So if you're around that area, you might want to turn off at Ikpameshon Road and reconnect at Ajegunle Street. That should help you. And now you come back to a free-flowing traffic. Now there's a Ramsgate pharmacy just at the roundabout. If you want to take the alternative, I don't know how long that's going to take you, but the maps is showing that if you follow this exact route, you should still get here within an hour, 58 minutes. So we have pockets of traffic at St. Shonyaolu Street, and we have free-flowing traffic from there all the way till you get to the popular Fagbames petrol station, which begins to approach the Abulegba axis, which you now have to go with the bumper to fender traffic, which of course is expected because a lot of people are at this point. But then remember, as I always say, going with peace and quiet and not listening to anybody, you will be fine. As we progress, we have pockets of traffic that eventually leads to high traffic at Adekpegba Street. So you might not want to connect to the express at that point. You might want to take the alternative that connects you to Lowell Street through inside Adekpegba. If you understand, please just pardon my pronunciation. So we're moving on. And now back to the express at Alakuko. It's free-flowing all the way through to Alagbado, Alagbado Leshogo. Yes, so that's thick traffic at that point. Now it's probably going to take you like maybe 30 minutes at this point, and you keep going with a steady traffic, to be honest. But remember that you will definitely make it. But when you get to Abraham Afolabi Street, from what I'm seeing here, you have a free-flowing traffic, thankfully, that takes you all the way to Mangoro. Now at Mangoro, we have slight traffic that begins to pick up to a tighter form of traffic at close to Punch Estate. That's the Onipesi police station. It gets thicker and thicker till you get to the airport bus stop on the bridge. And from this point, you might just want to come down and take an alternative. Also, I have tried this morning. You cannot say that I didn't give you good directions, but I'm going to be moving on to the kitchen where Yomi has a guest, and there's something interesting we will be talking about this morning on the Coffee Gist.
Yeah, well done, Tokwe. Quite impressive what you did with the traffic this morning. I had a few updates, but mainly around Eco Bridge. If you're going in that direction, the articulated vehicles all over that bridge are causing a lot of traffic. So just be careful when you go in that direction. Ojuelegba also has some construction going on. So that also is quite busy this morning. And I'm sure you're wondering what we're doing in the kitchen this morning. We've got a guest joining us. Of course, his name is Nee, and he's in the education sector.
Okay.
he's almost like, when you read his profile, he's like a scientist.
Oh, wow.
He spends a lot of time in the labs. But talk to us, Nia, about what you're up to and how people can be a part of it.
Yes, so I'm a scientist by training. I'm a chemical biologist by training. I work for a company called MSD, which it's a Merck scientist, exploratory science center in Cambridge, Massachusetts. I'm mainly in Nigeria giving talks in a couple of universities. We're trying to create a partnership in understanding how Merck can enable research within Nigeria, especially for diseases that are relevant to us.
You know, one of the things that I know is a big deal in many Nigerian universities is the fact that there's a lack of research, relevant research in the modern age.
Exactly.
A lot of the students complain about the labs, that there's not much, I mean, it's not up to standard. A lot of what we're doing here is still, from the 80s. And so is this partnership going to help upgrade our labs?
So that's the purpose of coming in and see where the help can come in into. Upgrading labs, it's definitely one thing, but talking about curriculums is another thing as well.
Curriculums.
One thing that it's quite different in the state. When I was at Harvard, you are put into problem solving as early as possible, instead of doing too many classes, things that necessarily will not matter towards your degree. Spending a few times here, one thing I've seen is that I did my undergrad here from OAU, and I think the same process still going on, where you have to go through the process. Doing too many classes.
Too many classes, like a huge curriculum, and
exactly.
you have so many textbooks to read without really actually
So I think the ideal situation is to putting young minds directly into the problems. What are the problems we need to face? Get them into that problems as early as possible. Those should be the class. Harvard does this very well.
Wow.
Most universities in the States do this very well.
So speaking about the universities that you want to work with, are you particular about certain universities, or does this cut across all universities in Nigeria?
This cut across pretty much Africa, not even just Nigeria.
Oh, okay.
I'm Nigerian, so I'm kind of coming to Nigeria first to kind of see first in class what we can do, how we can help.
Okay.
But the goal would be within the academics generally.
I wanted to ask about exchange programs, because I know that happens internationally, but usually Asia, Japan, China, and the US and Europe and all of that. Do you plan to have exchange programs as well? Because I think that exposure might also help Nigerian students.
Exactly. Exchange program would be wonderful, but we want a situation where whatever is gained from that ends up coming back. You can have an exchange program where folks come in and once they're done, they come back, they can implement everything they've learned.
Right.
So we want to make sure that whatever exchange, scientist exchange, where you bring folks from academics here, bring them into an academic lab or an industrial lab, whatever experience they get, they can bring that back to
the country.
Yeah.
So now you're saying you're coming to help for research for diseases purposes. Now, what plans exactly do you have? Good to know that you already have undergraduate experience in Nigeria. Now, what plans exactly do you have to make the system of the education better?
So I think it would require a lot. It would require talking to policymakers. It would require talking to universities, administrators, folks that actually make decisions. Because we can. The plan that we have was to enable more within interacting, allowing scientists here to interact scientists in the West. But we do think that we have to go deeper than that. We have to be able to look at ways where the curriculums that I talked about, the way universities are set up, to see if there are things that can be done in that aspect before going ahead with rolling out a program that would just enable whether interaction of scientists or providing aids and things like that.
Now, one of the things I find internationally, I mean, when you talked about Harvard, Cambridge, and a number of other places like that, is you have a lot of people, either private sector or private individuals, that are funding research. So you have, and funding research with like billions of dollars, not just a little bit of money, and they could fund research for like 5 years. or 10 years.
Exactly.
Is there a plan to encourage, I mean, I know that you are, working with some private sector individuals, but how about local private sector that work in Nigeria, encouraging them to also invest in research? And, this is investment for the long term and not something that we're going to gain back in the next 1 or 2 years. So 10 years, 15-year research and things like that.
Yeah, that's a great idea. So those are one of the things we're discussing about, but we first need to identify problems. I think having local, folks who are deep pocket that can fund research have to be particular problems. Have to be, we're talking about diabetics, we're talking about, oncology, we're talking about a few other spaces.
Right.
We has to be for a particular reason, and we would hope that folks like that can now see the importance of that particular problem and, invest into that. I think it's very doable, but we need to go down to the basis first. Try and look at what we can fix before we get to that part.
So looking at what you can fix, what do you have plans on fixing?
So the plan of what we're fixing is first is to create a process where scientists here can discuss with scientists in the West easily.
Right.
Okay.
Create a connection.
Right.
If you have someone who's a chemist who needs a particular manuscript or who needs a particular understanding about an experiment, we want to be able to connect them to scientists in the West who can easily provide that. Day and age of your cell phones and social media and the internet, you should be able to do that easily.
Right.
So we want to be able to create a platform to do that first. And,
really important. I feel like, even with technology, with improvement in technology, those connections should also be easier as well.
Exactly.
Quite amazing. Well, welcome back home. I know you've been away for a bit. How long have you been away for?
I've been around maybe for 15 years or so now.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So nice,
Welcome home.
Welcome home. I hope you've sampled all our food.
Our amala.
Very nice, very nice. Anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Nee is a chemical biologist, right?
Yes.
And he's in Nigeria for a bit, and giving back, which is really, really good. I love what you're doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
We're going to take a quick break and be back with more on the show.
Okay, so it's still celebration. We are about to bring you music from a dance artist and musician, Godwin, also known as Marino. Now, he started his musical journey this year with 2 great tracks to his name. Marino!
Thank you. Good morning.
How you doing? Good morning.
I'm fine.
So you started your career this year?
Yeah.
Ooh, how has that been?
That's been awesome, though.
It's been awesome?
Yeah.
It's not been scary?
No.
So you already have 2 tracks. Now,
Yeah.
that's a great way to start.
Thank you.
So tell me, how has it been for you?
Obviously, I started my music career this year, so
Yeah.
a lot has been going on in my mind, like me singing, though I was a dance artist, but I just decided to put up something new on the table.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what made you switch from dance to music?
No, I didn't switch actually.
Okay, you're
but
still doing
yeah,
both.
I'm still doing both
okay.
of them, though.
So what inspired you to try music?
I was just at home one morning and be like, a friend of mine sent me a beat. He was like, Marino, can you do this? I was like, no, I'm not a musician, though. I'm a dance artist. He said, Marino, you can. I said, okay, let me just try. So
try it.
That
So that's one of the songs you released?
Yeah.
So how was it working on those tracks?
It's been going far. Like I've done a lot on it. So
now that you're in the music business, who do you want to work with? Who are you looking forward to working with?
a lot of icons to work with.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
So what are you performing this morning?
I'm actually doing Sample by Marino. Yeah.
Okay. So now we're going to allow you, give us a sample of Marino.
Thank you. Gracias.
She my like in the beat, so she my dance, she my bounce on the beat, so I be feeling that way, so all the guys that my grace for hours, so see all the boys that my bounce on the beat, so all the guys that my grace on the beat, so
Every day takes us even closer to Christmas. This time next week,
Our
special day will be here, just 7 days. 7 days to Christmas.
And I think we've been doing a fine job of helping you count down those days. We've been helping to prepare you for the festivities.
Some people are waiting for giveaways, Titi. I don't know what you're doing about that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going
Thank
on.
you so much for passing.
We are waiting
the buck.
for our giveaways.
They are coming. Trust me.
Okay.
They're coming and they're worth waiting for. So you just need to stay tuned, stay right there, and we'll be surprising you very, very soon.
Very soon. You don't want to miss it. Some surprises are going to be happening this Friday.
Yes, Oluchi Imo is going to, well, she's of I Bake Cake Signatures.
Right.
She's one of our favorite bakers. Now, she's going to be giving away on the show this Friday some amazing Christmas cakes.
Ha!
So you need to stay tuned for that one.
Looking forward to it.
Yes,
Looking forward
indeed.
To it.
Oluchi
Anyway,
is amazing. She
she's-
decorated a cake last week, and one of those she's going to be giving out on Friday.
yeah. Anyway, you might want to be a winner, so watch this space. We're going to give you all the details and online as well.
Yes,
Very important. Good morning once again. My name is Yomi Ope.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinson West, live streaming right now on tvcentertainment.tv.
And on Facebook as well at TVC Connect. Send in your comments across the social media platforms. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
Yes, indeed. So, as long as you've got our app, do you have our app yet? I'm wondering why you don't have. You know what? Just go to any Android or iOS store right now and access our app. And of course, you'll be able to watch us and amazing TVC programs from anywhere in the world.
Anyway, let's go straight to what we have left for you on the show today. Cooties Bistro. Chef Yede is going to be joining us this morning in the kitchen.
Yes, indeed. And well, hey, we know that Tokwe is going to be hanging out with her. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's gonna be fun. Now, Tokwe, are you ready for what Chef Yede is going to be preparing
I'm
for
really
us?
excited that I and Chef Yede are now besties. So like Yomi can ever come between us. Like now it's always I and Chef Yede. So I'm totally prepared.
Yeah. You don't know the private messages she sends to me.
Wow.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Oh, you mean orders? You order food.
I'm sure
from
that's
her
what it
and
is.
you pay.
And she says I'm her best customer. So I
Yeah.
don't know what,
You can
Because
be a
of all the
customer,
money
it's
you're
fine.
spending. Yes, indeed. Now, we'll also be having our certified personal nutritionist, not nutritious, nutritionist.
Yeah.
We have Ask Dams coming back in the building. Adedamola Ladijobi. Now, she's going to be talking about nutrition and a healthy lifestyle as regards some of the worst choices you can make this season.
Wow.
So there's some foods you should just avoid, and we're going to be talking about that.
Very, very important. You know, lots of junk lying around this period. So important to focus on your health. Anyway, we're going to take from there, take you to music. And contemporary urban gospel rapper and singer, the one and only Sam Jams is in the building.
Things are not the same, cause he told me Akuna
And relationship, marriage counselor Damilola Shoderi will be joining us. Oyindamola Shoderi will be joining us on the show to talk about how to handle a breakup during the festive season, which is necessary if you want a fresh new start for
It's one of those
a
realities.
new year. Yeah.
It's one of those realities. Some people just broke up and it's Christmas, all those emotions, all those hormones happening. Oh, wow. Then, of course, we have something else. Our last guest this morning is lawyer, versatile worship leader, and music minister, Gloria Brimer.
You are the powerful healer. Come and heal, so powerful.
All right. So, we're in the festive spirit.
Wait,
already.
I'm about to vex with you,
what
Titi.
What
So before you joined us, I already told Yomi that it makes no sense for him to want to believe that breaking up before a new year is great. And then you now even came before without knowing that I spoke about it, and you now supported him.
Well,
supporting me.
I didn't support him exactly. I said there are a lot of breakups that happen just before
But you
Christmas.
don't support it, right?
So I'm not saying anyone should deliberately break up before the new year. No.
Well, I didn't say.
But starting the new
I didn't
year...
say just before Christmas. So you can do Christmas together, it's fine.
But if you want to start your new year fresh, there are some relationships that end up being toxic and they've probably derailed you for a whole year. And at
From
the
your
point,
direction, from where God was supposed to be taking you.
There are some relationships like that.
So you end it and then you
So
start.
2020 is not just a new year, it's a new decade. So please, I want to start my decade well. I cannot have anybody derail the rest of my decade.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so lay aside every weight, put the past behind.
Now a weight.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
Why are you dragging? I'm not even going to have that conversation with you this morning. I'm going to be taking the news, and our first story contains some flash photography. Nigeria now has an approved spending plan for next year. This follows the signing of the 2020 appropriation bill into law by President Muhammadu Buhari. The president is excited that in the lifetime of his administration, the national budget has been returned to the January to December cycle. But he says he also may have to return to the National Assembly with a request for violence because of certain adjustments that the lawmakers made to the budget. The signing was witnessed by the Vice President, President of the Senate, and the Speaker of the House of Representatives.
The 2020 budget passed by the National Assembly provides the aggregate expenditures of 10.594 trillion naira, an increase of 263.95 billion naira over the executive proposal that was submitted in October 2019. We have examined the adjustments and may revert to the National Assembly with a request for amendment or other relevant amendments.
I think the tragedy of the past, and could be the tragedy of tomorrow, is for us not to be able to get the revenues. This is important. But this time around, we have fixed or we have passed the finance bill. The finance bill will provide a lot more revenues to government. We have also passed the amendment to the production sharing contract. That will also provide a lot more revenues.
There's a synergy between the executive and the legislature like never before. Many want to criticize that, because you have a lot of naysayers. Many will say you're rubber stamps, but we believe and we believe that we will continue to do what we need to do as a legislature, and the executive will do what they're doing. And the harmony that is between the two, guess who benefits?
Nigeria's inflation figures for the month of November hits 11.85%. This marks a spike from the 11.61% recorded in October. That's according to just released figures from the National Bureau of Statistics. On a month-on-month basis, inflation hits 1.02% from 1.07% recorded in October. The highest rise in food inflation was recorded in Kwara, Sokoto, Bayelsa, and Edo states, while Nasarawa, Ondo, and Lagos recorded the slowest rise in food inflation on a month-on-month basis. The NBS report further shows urban index rose 12.47% in November compared to the 12.20% recorded in October. Urban index rose 1.02% month-on-month in November from 1.15% in October. Rural index rose 11.30% year-on-year in November from 11.07% in October. While on a month-on-month basis, rural index rose 0.98% from 0.99% recorded in October. Well, that's it on the news update for this hour.
Morning and welcome to the kitchen. We have the beautiful, delectable Chef Yede, aka Tops's bestie.
Good morning. that was a surprise, but yeah, yay.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm very well, thank you.
So we have a very colorful table this morning. Would you like to share with us what we're making?
Okay, so today we're going to be making a chicken curry. Very simple.
Okay.
And nice.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be pretty simple. So could you just run through the ingredients we're going to be using?
We have a chicken breast fileted.
Okay.
Boneless as well. Some paprika.
Okay.
Curry, my mixture. We have my special spice as always. Some salt, black pepper.
Okay.
Some fresh garlic and some onions.
And
we'll be serving that with some balsamic rice.
Balsamic rice? Okay. So now, this to make the chicken curry, does it have to be just this type of chicken, or you could use chickens that have bone? It has to be boneless chicken.
You can use chicken that have bone, but I mean, all the curry chicken I've had has always been with chicken breast.
Chicken breast.
Deboned and then diced into cubes.
Okay. So now, can this be a Christmas alternative?
Well, yeah, it's chicken. Chicken is always for Christmas, so yeah. We can have chicken. We can have chicken with anything. It's chicken.
Okay, so now this will cost approximately how much? Because we're doing like an on the budget, Christmas on the budget.
Okay, so Christmas on the budget, you have this chicken breast. You can also get a full chicken and then debone it and remove the chicken breast for yourself. Or you can just get the chicken breast. I think it's about, depending on the weight or how many people are trying to eat it. I think it's about 1,000 naira for the chicken. Okay. And then you have your seasoning cubes. You have paprika, garlic. These are easy things. Black pepper. You have rice, and so it's not really a lot. It's not even up to it's not up to 5,000.
It's not up to 5,000. Oh, yes. Great. But how many people can this feed now?
This would feed about 4, depending on how hungry you are. I think breakfast is supposed to be, well, Christmas, you're supposed to eat, but then you have to go to visit people and eat different
people's houses.
So you eat a little by little. That's what you should do.
Okay. So Chef Yedi has been accusing me of not helping her out. So you can see I'm just being very busy.
Okay.
So I'm being very busy this morning in my defense.
Well done.
So please, what am I should pour water inside the pot?
Please.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to start by boiling. Are we boiling the rice?
Yes, Papa, boiling the rice.
Okay, so now you mentioned a particular type of rice. Now, does it have to be that type of rice or any kind of rice?
It can be any kind of rice, but I'm just trying to go to the Asian. Okay. When you have your Indian or curry chicken or everything, you have the rice to go with it. And it's always basmati rice. So, yeah, that's basically why. But you can use any kind of rice. With me, I'm indifferent. I love normal rice.
Oh, okay.
So I can use anything. But
can we use fada rice?
Well,
if they want to, I mean creativity.
Yes, you can do that.
What if someone wants to try this chicken curry with pasta? Would it go?
I think
it will go.
I think it will go.
Okay.
Depending on your taste bud.
Because I think like I've been telling everybody that let's leave rice this Christmas. Let's try something else. So if you're with me on this,
I don't know how that will happen though.
It could happen.
Rice is everything to us.
If you're with me on this, use the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVZ and tell me if you're trying
no
rice this Christmas. Let's try pasta.
People are coming for you.
Let's try something else. Okay, but today we're going the Asian way with the chicken curry and the basmati rice.
Yep.
And Chef Yede giving us the Kutis style.
The Kutis bistro style.
O'Shea. And she's such a hardworking lady. I mean, she was at her restaurant till 2 a.m. and she's here this morning. Oof. This is women supporting women.
Things I do for TVC.
Oh, we love you. We love you. Okay, so we're going to go on a quick break while I and my assistant chef get things going.
Assistant? Oh my God.
Get things going and we will be right back.
Your best friend is shaking.
My best friend.
When it comes to women, we are always able to support each other, especially with networks like Her Network. Now, the Her Network Woman of the Year Award was founded by Nkem Nwudue. Now, she has this annual event that celebrates outstanding women of impact. This year's edition happened this past weekend with the theme Flourish. Now, when it comes to people like you just sit back and like, really? All this time? You've been doing this back to back. So how was the awards, first of all? How did it go?
It was overwhelming in a good way. Because my team and I put in so much blood, sweat and tears to make it happen for the 3rd time with little or no support. And I think that for us, we felt fulfilled at the end of the evening. And then for our guests and our honorees and our awardees, it was a phenomenal evening.
I have to take you back to what you said. You said little or no support. Please don't say it was from women that you weren't getting support. Please don't say that. Don't say that.
No, because my entire team were all women, and that's where I got my foundational support from. Okay. But when I say support, I mean in terms of sponsorship to make it happen, you know. We really didn't get so much, but we were able to make much out of the very little that we had, thanks to my team.
What were the responses that you were getting? Any interesting stories?
Yes. I just met someone that I've never known existed, and she's done so much, so thank you. I also got thank you so much for the substance of the awards, and then also the impact that we try to preach. It's not just of word value. They came, they saw, and they were impressed.
Can we talk a bit about the theme, Flourish? Why did you pick that particular theme for this year?
Because we're in a space where it's hard for you to flourish if you do not water your grass intentionally. With Nigeria and everything that's happening, it's just an encouragement to our women and the women that, you know, see us to flourish in whatever season they are in, regardless of whatever is happening around them, whether the rain falls or the sun shines, find a way to, you know, find a way to flourish regardless.
So the Her Network, how did that start for people that are just hearing about you?
Long story. But
in brief.
Just the desire to bring women together, the desire for women to have one voice, the desire for community and collaboration. We already do that, but just the desire to see more of it amongst women.
We need to bullet point what Her Network is doing for women. Apart from the awards, of course, what else do you do on a year-on-year basis?
We have offline events that connect women through our networking chats and cocktails and the monthly meetups. And then we have the online activities like the content just to inspire and keep you going. Every morning you wake up to a memo from us to, hey, get up and step into your greatness. So what we do particularly is just inspire, celebrate, and then encourage women and connect as well through our offline events.
Okay, so I like the connect part, you know, but with networking and connecting, when people hear the word her, you know, sometimes they're like, another women's network. Now, wow, when are they going to involve the men? So have you ever felt the need to sort of involve the men in any aspects of what you're doing?
Yes, earlier on, I think in August, we had a chats and cocktails, the annual chats and cocktails. So we had the men come in to give us their own view. So we called it, I think, His Perspective, just so we throw questions at them as women and get their own responses. It was quite an interactive evening because we wanted to close the event by 6, but we were there till about 9 because we were discussing with the men.
Oh, wow.
And I just, you know, recently said that the men are not the enemy. You know, we need to draw them in so that they understand where we're coming from, and then we get in the middle ground, and that's how we can be able to actually have mutually beneficial conversations and exist in the world peacefully.
All right, so we're rounding off now, but how large is the Her Network now?
I can't quantitate in numbers, but I would say beyond Nigeria, even globally, we can say over 5 million, if I could put it that way, because the internet, no borders, so I can put it to that, yes.
An amazing network, I have to say. And when it comes to the Her Network and Her Networking, that is one of the networks to join. I have to say a big thank you to you.
Thank you for having
coming
me.
to talk to us. And congratulations on a successful event.
Thank you very much.
So we're heading over for some music right now. Sam Jams is here.
Thank you so much, Titi. Now with me here is the one and only Sam Jams, and he is here to raise the bar for us this morning. Samuel Jangbadi is a contemporary urban gospel rapper and singer whose style of music is very captivating. He is also a founding member of the BLW Rap Nation. How are you doing?
I'm excellent.
Now, before I let you perform, you're having your very first concert.
Yeah.
Now, how has the journey been in urban contemporary gospel music?
It's been beautiful, you know, especially when you know that there are not so many people who are aware that such a thing exists, you know, and then you're among the people in the front line carrying the banner and then shouting everyone like, yo, we have urban music and the gospel, you know, so, and then it's beautiful, you know, especially with the concert coming up, and so much to look forward to.
Now, I mean, as a young man, I'm sure your parents expected you at some point to have a white-collar job, to have like a normal pattern of life and get married and live in the white-collar region. Now, how did your family accept you moving from from a job into music?
Okay, it's beautiful now. In fact, they're watching me right now.
Oh, hello, family.
Yeah, but initially they had like every family would have concerns like, oh, how is my child going to do this? You know,
Yeah.
but over the years, they've seen that this is a passion that I was not willing to let go, and
Yeah.
they just had to give me the support. So
Okay.
yeah,
Hey, shout out.
Shout
So
out.
what are you performing this morning?
Alive.
Alive.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's early, so you're definitely going to pump us up to feel alive.
Yes,
All right,
absolutely.
blow us away then.
Your cup overflow every day, you are feeling good. Put your hands on your chest and sing, I am alive. Divinity in my DNA. I speak into being what I want in my way. Alive, and I don't even need a holiday. Walking from a place of rest to change.
Welcome back. Now, how about some nutrition talk this morning? Adidamola Ladejobi, aka Ask Dams, is a certified personal nutritionist and a weight loss expert. She is the founder and CEO of Ask Dams, a weight loss management, health, and wellness company. And she's joining us this morning to talk about nutrition and a healthy lifestyle, especially during this Christmas period. You know, this is a period, I mean, growing up, even up till date, this is the period that people want to celebrate. So there's lots of food, lots of unhealthy food as well. So everywhere you go, there's food. So how do we even begin to talk about a healthy lifestyle over the 15 days of between Christmas and New Year? What do you do?
Okay, first of all, we have two choices. You have the choice to decide what lane you want to be on. So you have to choose whether you just want to, if you've worked so hard during the entire year, maybe you've managed to lose a couple of pounds or maintain your weight. For those of us who have been on a weight loss journey, that is,
Yeah.
you don't want to undo all your hard work in a span of 15 days. So you have to be very, very mindful. So I'm going to eat some cake. I'm going to have some ice cream. I'm going to have some small chops also because I like these things. That's the truth of the matter. How much am I going to have? That's the reality at hand. But here's the thing, we're going to be faced with these things every day. It's now up to us to make healthier choices.
Right. Before we get to, I mean, the details of the choices themselves, there are some people who say to themselves, I'm home for the holidays, right? And so I'm going to eat everything I want to eat and do everything I want to do, and then I can get back into the healthy lifestyle, food management, whatever it is, from January 1st.
Yeah.
Do you recommend that?
I do not in fact, it's it's a pet peeve for me just hearing people say, oh, I'm waiting until January, like, oh, I'm waiting for Monday. There's never a best time for you to start. Every little step that you take helps. I always say this, little drops of water make the mighty ocean. So it doesn't matter, you may not lose 5 kg or 4 kg in 1 week, but the truth of the matter is, if you're consciously making healthy efforts, it may be even as little as 0.2 kg on the scale, not even up to 1 kg, that is, but it will show at the end of the day. That's for those on a weight loss journey. So we just have to be very mindful and extremely conscious of everything that we are eating.
Right.
That's the truth.
Right.
And going back to what we should be eating, can I talk about
Yeah,
that
exactly.
now?
Let's talk about that.
Because I know that time is limited. So what should we be eating? First of all, ask yourself, what do I really enjoy eating? So for me, I used to be a size 20. I've lost approximately about 40 kilos.
So you used to be a size 20.
Yes, I would
think
fill
people
up like from
people
here.
People need to hear that. So, damn, you used to be a size 20.
Yeah.
That's huge. So you could feel like this whole couch.
I could feel this whole couch, like my entire body.
So what did you do? I don't know how much time we have.
Okay, so I can't really. If I talk about myself, I'll spend the whole day here.
Yeah, so we'll have a special day. Yeah, we'll have a special day where we'll have that discussion.
Exactly. So ask yourself, what are the things that I really like? So for example, I'm going to be surrounded by cake. I love cake. Everywhere I go, there's cake. And even if I don't order the cake, people are going to send cakes to me. My favorite cake is fruit cake. Now, fruit cake versus sponge cake, for example, fruit cake is heavy in calories and it's filled with alcohol. So if I know that I really want to enjoy my cake, I can't overdo the fruit cake. I will do more of the sponge cake.
Right.
But then again, before even thinking about cake and all of that, one mistake that a lot of us do, and you hear a lot of Nigerians say also, is that alcohol is okay, alcohol burns fat. No, alcohol doesn't burn fat. Alcohol actually decreases your metabolism, increases your chances of weight gain. So alcohol, this festive period, if you're going to drink it, I'm not going to say don't touch it, but please drink it in major moderation.
Right.
And I hope my pastor is not watching, but by the way, it's good. It's better for you to drink like maybe a shot of vodka or a tiny shot of brandy if you must drink with like some sort of very low sugar drink if you must drink alcohol. One of the worst things for you to drink during this period, and this is for all the women who are listening, because we always think, just have a small glass of Irish cream. Irish cream, they're different brands, so I didn't call any brands, by the way. Just have a small glass, but just a tiny glass, you know, 100 ml rather, is almost 400 calories.
Wow.
100 ml is this small.
That's
and
400 calories?
Yes, for this small amount, 100 ml. So don't overdrink your calories. Your fizzy drinks, do it in moderation. As opposed to doing a full bottle of, you know, your regular fizzy drink, do half and half. And then, here's the thing. This period, let me dish out my major tip for this period and what I'm going to be doing.
Right.
Because I like food. I'm going to be doing intermittent fasting this period. Now, there are 6 different types of intermittent fasting. You have to choose the type that you want, and you have to know the one that works for you. Now, I have a free Christmas gift for everybody. You're not paying, by the way, if you're watching this. Male, female, children, whatever. Go on iOS, Apple Play Store, go on Google Play Store, type Ask Dams, download the app. We have free activity trackers. You're not paying for it. You're not paying a dime.
The activity tracker helps you to track.
So it helps you track your calories. It has common calories in a lot of Nigerian foods that we're eating. It also has a step counter. So, because the average adult between the ages of 18 to 65 should be taking a minimum of 10,000 steps per day. But a lot of us are not even doing this at all. Yes.
Wow.
But what the Ask Dams app does, and it's free, by the way, so this is not me trying to market myself. The app is free. It tracks your steps rather. So all you need to do is set it, input the amount of steps you want to take on that particular day, and then it starts working immediately. If you want to do intermittent fasting, go on there. It has various types of intermittent fasting that you can. There's a fasting tracker on the app. It's free. There are free blog reads on the app also, because it's not everything that I can say on here because the time is very limited. But apart from the freebies on the app, the tools and all of that, make healthier choices. Before you decide to step out, eat something at home before you go out. Because a lot of us are always like, I'm going to this party.
Exactly. So that's one of the things I wanted to ask you, because you know, before we came on, you were saying you have to learn how to say no, especially when you go out, because everybody has food in their house. And when you go to somebody's house, I want you to eat something, and then it looks like it's a bit rude if you don't eat. So how do you manage this saying no process, especially when you go to your in-laws' house, for instance? you can't say no to your in-laws' food. What are you going to do?
Okay, for me, thank God, my in-laws know. In fact, they call me Ask Them. So in fact, they're even afraid of me, because my mother-in-law will say, Ask Them, is this oil too much? You know, what I would say is, you have to know what you want. It's okay to say no, because it's your body at the end of the day, and there are ways you can say no without being rude. It could be, oh, thank you so much, thank you, mommy, or thank you, auntie, or thank you, sister, whatever it is. I'm not very hungry now, you know. Or if you're hungry, have a little bit. You know, a little bit will not hurt you. You know,
so just a little bit.
Have a little bit.
So
have some.
So at the end of the day, it's really like a combination of your food choices and also lifestyle choices. You know, having, ensuring that you have that activity going on. Some people just sign off from the gym like the whole of December, like and they call it dirty December. Like, this month I'm just going to go crazy. And then at the end of the day, they then pile on all the weight that they lost before.
So here's the thing. Don't wait until January. If you're listening to this, start now. Start making healthier food choices. Fill up on fiber here, because you're going to be surrounded by all sorts of things. So for me, one of the things that I do before I go out, I'm very big on healthy teas. Please note that I said healthy teas, not slimming teas. There's no such thing
as a slimming tea.
There's no such thing. If it was a magical slimming tea that you drink and will burn fat, nobody will be fat on this planet.
They say things like that. So you see it online and they say, oh, if you drink this. And even with photographs.
Photographs and a lot of these things are, you know, and this is where brand integrity comes in for people like me, Ask Dams. There's nothing like a slimming tea. There are healthy teas, and I'll name some, for example. There's green tea. Now, green tea is not slimming tea. green tea is green
just
tea.
healthy,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's healthy. Oolong tea is fermented green tea. It's great for you. It's even anti-cancer, good for your skin, helps with blood sugar regulation. There's raw green coffee. Please note I didn't say slimming coffee. I said raw green coffee. That is coffee in its purest, unroasted form, the way God intended it to be. The actual beans.
The beans. So how
Yeah,
do you
so
do
you have
that?
to get it from a farmer.
Okay.
So I get mine from an organic farmer.
Right.
And then you can boil the beans for about 10 minutes and drink the liquid. If you leave the beans in water for a very long period, then you end up with a lot of caffeine, and it's not caffeine that you are trying to get out of the green coffee beans.
Exactly.
What you're trying to get is something called CLA. CLA is chlorogenic acid. Please Google it. CLA, chlorogenic acid. It's good for your metabolism. It's anti-aging. It's anti-cancer. It helps with blood sugar regulation. It reduces your appetite. So if you're doing intermittent fasting, it's a good idea.
Lecture that you're giving us this one. I love it because people are watching. I know that lots of people are at home this period, and people are rounding off for the year, and it's just all about food. I want to talk to you about appetites but I don't think we have much time for that.
I mean,
Hopefully,
we touched on that, actually.
yeah, we should because. I know one of the things that happens to me is that during the period I didn't discover that I'm hungrier. So even though I'm eating more, I just discover that every few minutes I'm hungry. But yeah.
Fill up on fiber, fill up on whole foods. Don't forget I mentioned the raw green coffee. If you've ever heard of Ratio Ganoderma, please try it and thank me later.
Thank you so much, Ask Dams.
You are
You can follow
welcome.
on Ask Dams and get more questions to her through there. We're heading over to the kitchen now where Tokwe and Chef Yede are on standby for us. Hey guys.
Yeah, they know we're friends 2 seconds, we're enemies 2 seconds.
I don't understand why you're trying to
Please,
take my friend.
right now we're not besties. I'm just going to go straight to what's happening. Chef Yede here has parboiled the rice. And interestingly, if you want to learn how to make your curry rice, all you need to do is after parboiling your rice, what do you do, Chef Yede?
I thought you were going to say
No,
this.
please, we're not friends. Just talk.
Okay, so after parboiling your rice, you put another water on fire and you add some curry in it, depending on the color you want. Some people just want plain white rice and curry.
Okay.
And some people like curry, plain white rice with curry chicken, depending on your choice.
So if I want it green, I add curry. What if I want it red?
Yes, you can actually do that. You just need to add saffron. Have you heard of saffron?
You just want to
It's
show
a
off.
food colorant. I'm just...
Show them that I don't know.
But it's true, there's saffron. You can use it to color your food.
So you can use saffron. Is it healthy?
It's very healthy.
Oh, okay. So we've done that, and she has marinated the chicken that we're using for the chicken curry with the spices here, and her special seasoning that she has refused to tell us. Hopefully on Christmas Day she would eventually tell us what her special seasoning.
But I'm not telling you.
Oh wow, besties didn't reach that level. Okay, so this has been marinated, and we've kept it for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
What are we doing next?
Now we're going to pop some oil in here.
Yeah.
And then start to pan fry the chicken to give it some golden color.
Okay. So while we pan fry the chicken to give it a golden color, we're going to go on a break. And when we come back, there'll be a whole lot more on Wake Up Nigeria.
Yep.
I have a question for you. So how has your morning picked up so far?
Well, it's been good. We spent 2 hours already.
Yeah.
Lots of things to learn, but we're going to spend the next 45 minutes with you to answer that question. And we know it's going to be great. It's going to be really, really nice on the show today.
We have about 45 minutes left on the show. Something smells really, really good in the kitchen. And of course, it's your favorite breakfast show.
Look at that.
That's the chicken. Yes, indeed.
Now we have the marinated chicken.
Chef Yede, I'm going to get that secret ingredient from you somehow.
What did you say?
That secret ingredient, somehow I'm going to get it.
She got it from me. She's giving it to me.
No.
Something smells good.
It smells really, really nice. Looking forward to it.
This is Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Titilayo Onyison.
And I'm Yomi Okwe. Watch us live right now, tvcentertainment.tv, and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
Send in those comments. We love the comments from yesterday, by the way. Some really nice ones. The hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC is what you need so we can see them. And of course, our TVC app is something you all need on your devices. Just go and download it from Android and iOS stores.
Yeah, of course, you know, the app can allow you to watch us from anywhere in the world. Very nice.
Yes, indeed. And
Our relationship.
relationships.
Yes, indeed. Marriage counselor Inda Malashodere will be joining us on the show. They're talking about a touchy subject, how to handle a breakup during the festive season.
Very deep something.
So when somebody says, we're done, what do you say?
Yeah, especially during Christmas, you need to figure out what's going on.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, talk about you having fun in the kitchen today.
Yeah, she looks like you're having lots of fun.
I am my bestie, Chef Yede. Oh, guess what? She's giving me her secret ingredient.
No, she hasn't.
Does Chef Yede
I said
agree
she
with
is.
you that she's your bestie?
She is. Yes, she does agree with me that
Okay.
she's my bestie. Why are you hating?
Ah, okay. All right.
Thank you. Thank
All
you
right.
all.
So, I wanted to ask you, what happened yesterday? What were you up to yesterday?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Birthday.
so I got lots of cakes, lots of prayers. My pastors called me at different points during the day. But, you know, the cake was just the highlights because I don't think I've received as many cakes.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
How many cakes in total?
Okay, so there was one this morning
Oh, this morning.
and 5 or 6 from yesterday. So there was a small one and then, you know, a bunch of other larger ones.
6 cakes.
You know what came to my mind? As I just heard him say that, I just remember what the nutritionist was saying about it.
Oh, there'll be cakes everywhere.
There'll be
cakes
cakes.
everywhere. So, yeah.
But you don't have to eat from every single cake you receive,
wow.
right?
I have no comments to that.
Oh, no, the one I received this morning, I already,
You already-
had a taste.
You had a taste?
You already attacked it.
Sharp, sharp. So, so there was something about cakes. You know, there's this whole festive birthday feeling
with it.
From it, yeah.
Yeah, that you get once the cake comes. That's what just crowns everything. But when it gets to like 5 or 6, you're like, wait,
Yo, as in, how do we manage
where am I
this?
going to store all these things? You don't know what to do.
So it was good. I need even yesterday the surprise. I mean, you guys are awesome. Everything that you guys did, it was very. So one of the things that I was told that I know how to give, but I don't know how to receive. So I'm trying to receive because I usually avoid attention. You guys don't, you know. Yeah. So.
Avoid attention.
So, but yesterday,
Wow.
yesterday I became sort of like the center of. You know,
How did you
everything
feel
else,
like
all
a
the activity.
superstar? Did
Not-
Buhari
not
call
really.
you? Did he call you?
Who?
Yeah. So we have this thing, but.
The president called you?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
Oh, he didn't.
So I
I
have
thought he
this.
did.
Yeah. So I have an axe to grind in that area. But anyway, all that love, all that attention was really good. So it gives you a good feeling at the end of the day that people love you, appreciate you, and care. So it's
All right.
nice. It's good.
Now, there's something else we care about, and that's the news update.
Yes,
Yomi?
indeed. Our first story contains flash photography, and Nigeria now has an approved spending plan for next year. This follows the signing of the 2020 appropriation bill into law by President Muhammadu Buhari. The president is excited that in the lifetime of his administration, the national budget has been returned to the January to December cycle. But he also says he may have to return to the National Assembly with a request for environment because of certain adjustments the lawmakers made to the budget. The signing was witnessed by the Vice President, President of the Senate, and Speaker of the House of Representatives.
The 2020 budget passed by the National Assembly provides the aggregate expenditures of 10.594 trillion naira, an increase of 263.95 billion naira over the executive proposal that was submitted in October 2019. We have examined the adjustments and may revert to the National Assembly with a request for amendment or other relevant amendments.
I think the tragedy of the past, and could be the tragedy of tomorrow, is for us not to be able to get the revenues. This is important. But this time around, we have fixed or we have passed the finance bill. The finance bill will provide a lot more revenues to government. we have also passed the amendment to the production sharing contract. That will also provide a lot more revenues.
There's a synergy between the executive and the legislature like never before. Many want to criticize that, many because you have a lot of naysayers. Many will say you're rubber stamps, but we believe and we believe that we will continue to do what we need to do as a legislature, and the executive will do what they're doing, and the harmony that is between the two. Guess who benefits?
Nigeria's inflation figures for the month of November hits 11.85%. This marks a spike from the 11.61% recorded in October. That's according to just released figures from the National Bureau of Statistics. On a month-on-month basis, inflation hit 1.02% from 1.07% recorded in October. The highest rise in food inflation was recorded in Kwara, Sokoto, Bayelsa, and Edo states, while Nasarawa, Ondo, and Lagos recorded the slowest rise in food inflation on a month-on-month basis. The NBS report further shows urban index rose 12.47% in November compared to 12.20% recorded in October. Urban index rose 1.02% month-on-month in November from 1.15% in October. Rural index rose 11.30% year-on-year in November from 11.07% in October. While on a month-on-month basis, rural index rose 0.98% from 0.99% recorded in October. Well, that's it on the news on Wake Up Nigeria today. Stay tuned for the weather update, and after that, sports with Tokwe.
Welcome to Sports News. My name is Tokwe Oluonio. While the Athletics Federation of Nigeria is still grappling with a leadership crisis, another sports federation in the country is falling apart. This time, it's the Gymnastics Federation of Nigeria that is at war. The development has resulted in the resignation of the federation's technical director, Anthony Asukwo. Asukwo, a world-certified gymnastic coach, told TVC News that he could not cope with some irregularities in the Gymnastics Federation.
I just felt that there are some irregularities that's actually going on with the board. Then I don't want to be a part of that. Then I decided to tender my resignation before it is too late. I am supposed to be representing Nigeria in one of the top coaching qualification in the world, and but my letter was actually seized by the Federation President, Kevin Eramuse. I think that was what actually got me, into all of this. Like, I wouldn't know why you want to put the country down,
The Nigerian Football Federation has lined up quality-friendly matches for the Super Eagles ahead of the next FIFA international window. The federation wants to keep Eagles busy next year. Nigeria fell 1-0 to Senegal, played out a 2-2 draw against Ukraine before holding Brazil to a 1-1 stalemate in friendly matches played in 2019. The Nigerian Football Federation has now lined up games against Germany, Italy and other top countries for the Super Eagles next year. Reactions continue from fans and pundits towards striker Odion Ighalo's decision to return to the Super Eagles. The Shanghai Shenhua player retired from the Nigerian national team after helping Nigeria win bronze at the African Cup of Nations this year. Ighalo scored 5 goals at the tournament to emerge top scorer. Reports say the player is keen on a return to the national team.
It took a long time, but it didn't take Ighalo very long.
I'm a bit worried about that, and I'll tell you why. I think Odion Ighalo has done very well for the Super Eagles. He suffered a lot of criticism after the World Cup in 2018 because of some few missed chances. Well, all credit to him, just to show how strong-willed mentally he is. He came back, top scorer at the qualifiers for the Nations Cup and top scorer at the Nations Cup. I think he's done very well for the Super Eagles, and I honestly feel that when you retire and come back, in the history of Nigerian football, it doesn't work. Most of the time, many examples, it doesn't work. And then I think from the Nations Cup as well, from a tactical perspective on the pitch, I think the coach has moved on.
It's actually surprising to hear that Odion Ighalo wants to return to the national team. However, I think his retirement actually came as a surprise to everybody, and because we felt that he still had a lot. He was about like the top scorer that gave us, taking us into the World Cup and even in Nations Cup too. He was prolific. At the point when he actually did decide to hang his boots, I was quite surprised to hear that he's making a return or looking to make a return to the team. It's a welcome gesture, however, it's important for players to know that Nigerian Super Eagles or the Nigerian national teams are bigger than any single individual. But if he does come back, he's a good addition to the team.
Well, that's it on sports news. We're going to go on a break. When we come back, we'll be having on a lighter note.
But it's time for us to talk about relationships and marriage. And Oyinda Shodero is a marriage counselor and a mass communicator. And this Christmas, during the holidays, we've been talking about various aspects. And one of the things I want to talk about today is a breakup. A breakup is hard at any point. But during the festive season, it can be especially difficult. Oyinda will be shedding some light on the best way to deal with this situation during the festive season. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Good morning.
So first, we had this argument. I don't know whether you were watching. Myself, Topai and Titi were talking about, is it a good thing to break up during the festive season? And I was saying, maybe better to do that now before the new year. What would you say?
I'd say breakup is hard any time. And festive season may not necessarily be a very good time to do it, because what it does is it scars you for that time of the year, especially if you were really, really invested in the relationship.
Right.
So some may judge it as being very harsh and unkind, really, to do it at that time.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So anyway, but that, notwithstanding, is going to happen this period. There are people who will find themselves suddenly without a significant other. Maybe some who are already making marriage plans, or they're already engaged to somebody and then suddenly the engagement breaks and all of that. So what are the things that people can do to safeguard themselves and, just essentially at least still be happy this season?
Yeah. The first thing I'd advise is give yourself permission to be happy. Do you understand? Don't go around Christmas with a long face, feeling guilty, feeling angry. You're going to go through all the emotions that come with grief. You'll be angry, you'll blame yourself, you'll blame the other person, you'll blame people around you who are happy. So, you need to just give yourself permission to be happy.
Right.
Just cut yourself some slack and say, these few days, I'm going to be intentionally happy. Don't rehash what has gone on, because that's a human temptation. Everybody that sees you, do you know, have you heard? You know, there's a way we just keep talking about it, and that keeps the pain fresh. So don't do that as much as is humanly possible. And then be around your support system. Be with people who root for you, people who celebrate you, people who will tell you, no, look, it's going to be all right. There's a better tomorrow. You deserve someone better. Just surround yourself intentionally with people who believe in you so that you don't get into depression or you're not blue all throughout the season. And it may not be a good time to bring out pictures or start listening to all the, you know, songs that are slow.
Or stalking them on social media.
Oh, I was going to get to that. So don't listen to songs that will whip up unnecessary emotions. You know, you dim the light in your room and you start, you know, going over. No, it's not necessary at this time. And certainly don't stalk them on social media. And sometimes we justify to say, let me see what the idiot is doing. You don't need that at this particular time.
The one question I want to ask is, there are people who respond or react to breakups in different ways. So there's some people who maybe they take it, you know, in their stride. You know, maybe they're stronger, or maybe they've gone through many breakups in their lives, and so they sort of know how to handle things like that. But there are some who, like you said, maybe they've been invested in it. So they've been in it for 5 years or 2 years. 2 years even long enough, and then suddenly everything breaks up, and it's like everything has come crashing down.
Yeah.
Is it one size fits all when you're advising different kinds of people?
No, it's never one. Nothing is ever one size fits all. Because for some people, even being in a relationship for 2 weeks is enough for them to take drastic decisions. We hear things like, "Well, I'm going to cut my hair." I mean, people actually end up in the hospital because of breakup if it's not handled well. So what nobody would give the full one advice to everybody. That's why I said that people go through the ranges of grief. Some get very angry. Some suppress the anger and then take it out on the, you know, subsequent relationship. So it's usually advisable to talk to people one-on-one. And then for someone who is not going through the breakup, don't tell them, get over it already. Because you don't know how deep, or, you know, their emotions run. You can't rush grief. You can't rush the heartbreak people feel. So if you can't empathize with them, leave them be. Do you understand? And for the people who are actually going through the breakup, some people actually need to get help. You may need to speak to a professional, because like I said, I've handled 2, 3, 4 cases where they ended up in the hospital on admission because they couldn't process.
I like what you said about, you know, people becoming impatient, because somebody has been through a breakup, they don't want to get out of bed 2, 3 days in a row, and you're saying, oh, eat something and things like that, and they just don't want to get involved in any activity. So at what point, what should be the reaction of people around someone who's experiencing this? Because sometimes you don't know what to do. That's why you say, can you just get out of bed? Let's go to church, or, you know, let's go to this party, let's go to the beach, so that you can get the person out of that. How should friends respond, or friends and family respond to people who are going through this?
I think you should take your cue from the person who is actually going through the process. You know, you would have seen them go through disappointments in the past. So if you see that, okay, this is tending towards a higher degree of what they've gone through in the past, then you can, like, because some people actually need you to jolt them and be like, hey, okay. But some people just need you to listen. Just listen without condemnation, listen without telling them, didn't I tell you he was going to break your heart, or she wasn't serious, you know. Just listen to them. From them, you can now take the cues that, okay, look, maybe after a day, they don't want to shout, they don't want to get out of bed. Allow them. But by the second day, you're like, okay.
Exactly. I was going to ask that. So for how long should you leave someone? Because there are some people, is there any instance where you just leave the person be? You just leave him or her alone in their dark room or whatever it is?
No. Don't leave them alone for too long. Check in on them. And when I say check in, it doesn't have to be physically. Check in emotionally. Send a text message. How are you doing? Are you doing fine? Just interrupt those moments without necessarily being aggressive or rushing the process for them. But please check in on them. Because even the strongest people can break down when you least expect it. So check in on them for their mental well-being particularly. Especially when everybody appears to be gay around them. Everybody's walking in pairs. Everybody's posting on social media. And here they are feeling very, very blue and sorry for themselves. So you can interrupt the pity party
Exactly, exactly. So interrupt the PT party, get them involved.
Yes.
In
And
the
then, you know, I said it earlier, I said be with your support group. There's
Mm.
always a group of people rooting for you.
Yeah.
Particularly in your family, you'd find at least one person who would say, look, come, it's going to be all right.
Oh, I've been through this before.
Exactly.
Let's go have a party. Anyway, so it's not going to be all gloom and doom if you do go through a breakup this Christmas season. And of course, you can follow Oyindamola Shoderu on social media. Ask her more questions and tell her that, you know, I don't understand that thing that you said or whatever. We're going to take a break now and be back with more on Wake Up Nigeria.
All right, it's time to talk fashion. The African Fashion Week Nigeria has been a focal point in promoting Nigerian fashion brands, and a compilation of catwalk exhibitions, business of fashion. It's going to be talking about fashion in many ways and so much more. Here to share more on it is Bayo Hastrop and Omobola Emmanuel. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Looking very fashionable, I have to say.
Fashionable. This is so lovely. Is this going to be exhibited at the
You're going to see this some more at the event. So, yes.
Now I have to say, Egbon Bayo, you are, wow, what word do we use? In the fashion industry of Nigeria, if you don't know who Bayo Hastrop is, he used to teach catwalk, he used to do makeup, he used to style, he used to correct. In fact, he used to flog some models then back in the day. If they weren't standing up straight. Now it's really great. It's an honor having you on our chat.
Good to have you here. I heard you say sitting posture, so I quickly adjusted.
I did too. But please tell us just as much as you can about how this African Fashion Week came to be.
Okay, African Fashion Week is a brainchild of Princess Ronke Ademiluyi.
Okay.
And it's been on for 10 years in London and 6 years in Nigeria. We have come to to face out certain things in the fashion industry and create some essence and value for designers who partake in the African Fashion Week event. Over time, we've carried out research and, finding out information from people what would really inspire you as a designer after showcasing your pieces. What's the essence of showcasing? A lot of people just think fashion shows are just to exhibit clothes and just put them out there. But it's entirely different. It's a different thing entirely. The fashion business is a business. Most designers do not take the fashion as a business in Nigeria. And over time, we've been able to explain, show people the importance of taking fashion as a core business rather than just a hobby that people have developed from time and opened up a store and started making clothes for their friends. Yeah. It is a business. If we do not see fashion as a business, then we would not develop or improve in whatever we do. So over time, African Fashion Week has set up so many things and platforms to try and help and encourage people to get better in their businesses and in the fashion business. How do we do this? We expose them to the right clients, the right audience. The essence of doing a fashion show is not just to come and showcase what you have, but also to meet the target audience. You have buyers coming in to look at what you have and make requests. But you see, over time, we've had designers from Nigeria who have gotten requests from book buyers abroad. But due to the problem of production, we can't meet up the demand. So it's important that African Fashion Week is setting up a hub with their business partners to help develop and speed up production rates for our designers that have taken part in African Fashion Week and designers that are affiliated to African Fashion Week. African Fashion Week, both Nigeria and London, have a followership of over 40,000 designers registered in our pool.
40,000 designers?
Yes, so you can imagine having a hub whereby 40,000 designers can stock their things and sell globally. So that's the essence of, we think that fashion show must also go with
the business.
Numbers.
Making the money.
I'm appreciating everything you're saying, you know, because when you think about Hollywood, and whenever they have some kind of African-centric movie and they need fashion from Africa, they need designers from Africa, they end up having some other designers from other countries supply
not representing
African clothes. Trying to replicate what they've seen. I guess it's because they've not been able to, you know, come here and find people that can meet the demand. Is that right?
It's not about just coming here, finding people that meets the that will meet up the demand. You see, why don't you take it to them?
Okay.
That's how. That's the challenge.
So we should be taking it to
That's
them.
the challenge African Fashion Week is trying to do. We need to take in. You know, you see, if you look at most of the videos going on now in circulation, you see that even the Americans, the British, they are coming back to Africa. You have videos of Janet Jackson using a lot of Ankara in her. You have Beyonce wearing Ankara. That's Africa is now. So we need to tap into that opportunity and also let everyone know the essence and importance of putting your product outside there. It's very important. If you have retail outlets or stocking outlets all over the world that people can easily access, then there's more sale, there's more production, and there's a reason for everyone to come and showcase at your fashion week.
Okay, so now you spoke about having over 40,000 designers. Now for designers who are watching and who haven't even thought about subscribing to the platform, how do they actually get to sign up to have their pieces aligned with the African fashion week?
Okay, okay, so that is a project we are sort of keeping till next year.
Oh, okay.
But now we're having the event this Friday and Saturday. Okay. So I would encourage every designer out there to come and see, experience for themselves. Because we have designers coming from all over the world.
All over the world, but majorly African designs.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Because really, just like you said, we have, I don't want to mention, maybe I should, Chinese, you know, claiming, you know, authority over some of our fabrics and all of that. We really want to show them that these things originated from Africa. We're going to have collections, the Adire collection there. We're going to have a Kitty State showcase. We have Kwara State showcasing. And then for the first time, we're going to have the First Lady's Catwalk show.
Oh.
Yes. So you're going to see wives of governors walking.
Wow.
Yes, it's going to be an amazing show. It's going to be an amazing
Looking
show.
forward to seeing it.
What's our venue?
Okay, so it's going to happen at Oriental Hotel.
Okay.
Yes, we have the Friday event. We have the Saturday event.
Is it the same event or different events?
It's the same event. It's a two-day event. So it has different segments to it.
Okay.
We're going to have the fireside chat by 12 p.m. on Friday. Red carpet starts at 5 p.m. and then the catwalk show starts at 6 p.m. That's on Friday. We're going to have 2 shows. So also, we really want to empower a lot of people. So you will find that a lot of the designers that will be showcasing are emerging designers. They're not the established ones. And you'll be surprised to see that these people are really talented. They're very creative. You're going to see a lot of creativity on the runway. It's going to be an amazing event.
I'm really encouraged. I'm inspired, and I'm thinking, you know, this is Africa. This is not just Nigeria. So it's not just going to be Nigerian designers we're seeing. We're going to see them from all over the world.
From South Africa.
Like we usually have. The last year we had them from all over Africa. It's all over. In fact, some governments, some countries sponsor their team here. Aside from that, we have the African Fashion Week has also partnered with the Person School of Fashion in New York to help develop the training and the knowledge of the fashion industry here. So we've done that, and also we are in a session also with Hensley and his business school in London too. So it's a win-win thing. Anyone affiliated with the African Fashion Week brand has a lot to gain from us.
This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Thank you so much once again to Egbon Bayo. I can't just call you Bayo, sorry. And of course, Bola for coming to talk to us about African Fashion Week. But we have a special meal prepared by Chef Yede. Now, she is from Kuti's Bistro, and she knows how to, in fact, tantalize our taste buds. Please join us in the kitchen. And you know, it's a Wednesday, meaning that we're halfway through the week. Okay. We're halfway through the week, but it's
Baya
really
has
great to
struck.
have you
Hey,
here.
yummy.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Baya and I go way back.
We all go way back.
Please take a seat.
Back in the late 90s. Yeah.
So what did you do? Were you modeling then?
Oh, no.
We tried to make model.
But it didn't work. I was a politician.
Yes, he was a politician.
And,
we tried to make him model like us.
Okay, so this is Chef Yede.
Good morning.
Good morning.
She's going to run us through what we have here.
So today we have chicken curry and rice. This is the festive period. We think we use chicken for something really nice, and the
Can I
chicken curry
ask
will
a
be
question,
really
please?
nice.
Yes, you can.
Is this Abakaliki rice?
It's Nigerian.
It's Nigerian.
rice.
Then we will eat with all pleasure.
Okay. I also heard earlier, I think you said you're going to start a campaign, no rice.
Yes.
No rice.
How would you
I don't
survive
know how
that?
that will
Christmas.
go.
It's not possible. That's not
On
possible.
Christmas Day, we're going to have an alternative for rice.
Yes.
Please have a taste.
Let us know what
It
you
looks
think.
amazing, Chef Yede, and it smells even better, I have to say.
I like what you did, the colors, everything.
It
And, you know.
smells so fragrant. Beautiful, beautiful.
Really, really nice.
Thank you so much to our friends at Homely NG for the kitchen accessories, as always.
And to all our guests for joining us on the show today and for eating our breakfast and,
Thank you so very
and
much.
telling us that it's nice.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so very much.
And well done, Chef.
Yes,
And we'll be back tomorrow, 6 a.m. Don't forget, the Thursday show is going to be special.
Yes, it is. Have a great day, y'all. Bye.